right. Next, it's my pleasure to welcome Ron Endle. Ron is retired from the Division Chief Special Operations, part of the Buffalo Fire Department for 36 years. He is VP of the Fireboat, Edward N. Cotter Conservancy, VP of Western New York Retired Firefighters Association, on the board of directors for Buffalo Fire Historical Society, and is a New York State fire instructor. He's also brought the amazing scale model of the Cotter to exhibit here today. So with that, I welcome Ron.
Going along with the preservations team, this is our big to-do with the fireboat. We've got 130 years of fireboat history in the city of Buffalo. At one time there were 3 fireboats. Now we got one fireboat that had 3 names. And it all started for Cotter, which was first called the Grattan back in 1900. But prior to that, there was 2 other fireboats built in the city of Buffalo, and it was both built in the city of Buffalo. The Cotter on the left was built in 1887, and then the Hutchison was built in 1893. And both of them were built locally at Georgia Bell's boat yard, which was down around where Wilkinson Boulevard and Erie Boulevard is now. So that started it off. Then we decided to get another fireboat, and we got the William S. Grattan. In November 15th, 1900, it was christened and put into service, and has been in service since. One of the main little things we had a little problem when the Grattan was out of service. They tried to use an old Army surplus duck. It didn't work. It rode up on the ice instead of breaking it. They had trouble with the pumps, so they did away with that. But our main thing is that this was the early drawing of the city of Buffalo. At one time, there was a whole bunch of canals downtown. The terminus of the Erie Canal was actually down around where War Memorial Auditorium used to be, the old stadium. And there was a series of canals that interlaced the city down there. So the boats in the early days, as you've seen, were very short so they could get underneath the bridges. Those boats look something similar to this, which is the Grattan, as it was first christened in 1900, at a grand cost of $91,000. The city of Buffalo was smart enough, they got it built with good Swedish steel and designed it purposely as an icebreaker, which is the only reason it's probably lasted up until today. Up until 1930, we had a little problem with the boat. In 1928, there was an oil fire, a barge broke loose, the boat got caught in the middle of it. One of the members of the boat crew died. The boat was completely destroyed just about. They had a hem and haw and decided whether to rebuild it or get a new one. They decided to rebuild it. Went some overhauls. 1953 went in for another overhaul and became known as the Firefighter. The first name change. It was changed from coal originally to oil, to finally to diesel. The pumping capacity went from 9,000 gallons up to 15,000 gallons a minute. And as we see it now, from 1955 forward, it was known as the Edward M. Cotter in honor of the first union president of the Buffalo Firefighters. It was converted to diesel. They put in 4 diesel engines, each capable of producing 400 horsepower and producing 15,000 gallons of water per minute. This was from one of their dry docks when it was converted from a single screw to a double screw. And you can see how much of the boat is actually below the water line. About 7 foot 1 forward, 10 aft draft, and needs about 15 foot of water underneath it to work. These are the 4 engines on the fireboat. As we said, each one's 400 horsepower, each one capable of producing 3,750 gallons of water a minute, if they kick them all in at once. Generally they don't, because they need one to maintain steerage with it. So we'll just kick in 2 or 3 of them to get going. This is the main purpose of a fireboat today. It's ice breaking. If we didn't have the fireboat in the city of Buffalo for ice breaking, it would cost the city approximately $25,000 a day to get an icebreaker up here. This is the reason we're trying to preserve this and get it into ship shape. Referred to as Engine 20 today, is located down at the foot of Michigan and Ohio. More than welcome to come and tour it when it's there. as long as the companies are there, they'd be more than happy to take you aboard and let you take a look at it. It's in need of repair. And this is where the Edward M. Cotter Conservancy came in. It was a collaboration. The Fire Bell Club, which looking for a project, decided to take on the fireboat. They couldn't do it alone, so they said, well, wait a minute, the fireboats had 3 names. Maybe if we get 3 partners, we can do this. So between the Bell Club, the Historical Society, and the retirees, we formed this not-for-profit corporation back in January of 2016. Did all the paperwork to get it completely as a tax-deductible organization. We've got a website, which we'll show you later. And so far, we've donated $8,000 to the boat. Just most recently, we just spent $4,000 for paint, so it looks nice and pretty for the upcoming season. Our plans are to be able to get this boat down to the canal side more often so that more people can come aboard and take a look at it. It's a National Historic Landmark. We're trying to preserve it. It's an ugly stepchild of the city, takes a back seat, but it's very important. And through the Edward M. Cotter Conservancy, we hope to be able to raise funds and support it throughout the rest of its existence and get it through another 117 years, hopefully, if we can do that. So that's our goal. Again, fits in well with your preservationists. We're more than welcome to come down and take a look at it sometime, and hopefully you'll get to see more of it this summer down on Canal Side, and especially in September when we rechristen the new Little Rock, that this should be the lead boat bringing the new ship in town. So,